Hi everyone, I am so excited to be giving you the first ever reading of JAYBEN and the Golden Torch, and I hope you enjoy. A sharp pain shot through Ben's tingling head. He gripped the kitchen counter, teeth clenched, looking down at his reflection in the sink. His jaw tightened with pain. He let out a cry. "You can cut that out," she said, switching on the radio. "It won't work on me." "Oh, and I found this." Ben looked up. She had found one of his sketches. "These stupid drawings won't get you anywhere," she smirked, ripping it into tiny pieces. "You are hopeless." Hopeless. He wanted to answer back, but he couldn't concentrate through the pain and the noise and the bright lights. "Hopeless," she tutted. Suddenly, he could hear the irritating tick of the kitchen clock again. Tick, tick, tick. But it sounded different somehow, sharper and deeper. He looked up. The clock's hands were turning backwards. Then he heard the mantel clock in the sitting room and the grandfather clock from the hall. All of the clocks, all of them ticking and tocking from every corner of the house. He looked around to the hallway, breathing fast, and then to the living room. They were all turning the wrong way. "For hell's sake," Samantha shouted. "What did you do now?" Samantha's watch sprang back to life too. In an awful chorus of clanging, the grandfather clock and the alarm clocks upstairs began furiously hammering their bells. The radio screeched like the squeal of a car's brakes. The tap dripped like falling hail. "Enough!" she cried. Was that fear in her eyes? "Whatever you're doing, stop it, this instant." "I didn't do anything. Please, I'm sorry. "So am I," she snarled, grabbing him by the arm. "I'm sorry you were ever born. I'm sorry your parents spoilt you rotten. I'm sorry that you're still here, poisoning my life. I'm sorry that every single day I have no choice but to..." Ben could no longer make out the words. Not over the tinny screech of the radio and the dripping of the tap and the wild ticking of all the clocks. Tick, tick, tick. He shut his eyes tight, trying to separate out the sounds, but the noises were locking together, swirling around and attracting yet more sounds. A car alarm wailed across the street. A dog barked in next door's garden. A plane passed, groaning overhead, and a train rattled over its tracks. He cupped his hands over his ears, but he couldn't block out the noise. Then he smelt it. The room reeked as if the leftovers inside the fridge were rotting. Now he could taste it. It was stinging the back of his throat. He tried moving a hand from his ear to hold his nose, but his arm wouldn't move. The tingling sensation was like electricity buzzing around his body, and he could feel his heart beating hard. Thud, thud, tick, tick. Behind his tightly shut eyelids came pink and yellow dots. They flashed like tiny fireworks in his head, and just when he felt as though he could burst, his arms thrashed out, and he fell to the floor. Down and down, as if the ground had opened beneath him. Down he fell until suddenly, with a loud crack, everything stopped. There was no sound and no smell here, only stillness and darkness. His heart stopped racing, his breathing slowed. Every muscle in his body was still. The storm in the kitchen had taken Ben's mind to a world far away. Thanks so much for listening, and I'm really excited about the next little snippet that I will be reading for you very soon. I hope you enjoy getting to know JAYBEN and his magical world.